National Weather Service in Raleigh. This is Jonathan Blaze with the routine weekly weather briefing for today, Monday, October 17th through the 23rd of October. We'll go ahead and get started with the slides. So first, look at the upcoming weather pattern for the upcoming week. Today, we're going to have a strong cold front move through our region. The front is actually just moving across the crest of the Appalachians this hour, and the front is now looks like it's through Boone and West Jefferson, and during the next 6 to 12 hours it'll move east and southeast across much of our area, reaching the coast by late tonight. Ahead of the front, as you can see in the upper left panel here, there'll be some showers, perhaps a few thunderstorms as well. We'll talk more about those here in just a moment. The front will then push off the coast, and we'll have cool high pressure or chilly, maybe even cold high pressure kind of move into the eastern United States with the coldest air mass of the season expected. That chilly air mass has been much anticipated, and we expect below normal temperatures beginning tomorrow, Tuesday, and continuing into Thursday. Eventually, that high pressure area will moderate, and that air mass, which is really chilly, will begin to warm up a bit. By late week, in the lower left panel, you'll see a cold front that kind of moves through our area. That should be weak and not terribly significant. But one thing we're keeping an eye on is late in the weekend and early next week, there's likely to be a upper level low pressure area develop near the southeast coast, just off the coast. And this time of year, both in the fall and even in the spring during these transitional seasons, sometimes these upper level lows tend to do some crazy or unusual type things and need to be monitored. So we'll keep an eye on that. There is a small chance that we'll get a coastal storm system developing with that, and it could even bring some precipitation to the area. More likely the eastern parts of the area, and more likely on late Sunday, perhaps into Monday, but a lot of details and a lot of uncertainty with that. But other than the showers and a few storms that'll come through later today, that is the next chance of rain is late in the weekend and early next week. Otherwise, the message this week will be below normal temperatures. Before I show the precipitation slide, I'm going to try to slide another image onto the screen, and hopefully you can see this. This is a simulated radar product from the high resolution model, the HRR it's referred to. And this shows what the radar may look like. And again, this is simulated. Excuse me, this is simulated. So please don't take this verbatim. But what's important and what you can see is kind of a trend of what it's signaling. So we had some showers come through our area overnight and early this morning. This is what the simulated radar maybe looked like at 8, 9, 10, 11. That rain has kind of moved off into Virginia and faded. But later this afternoon, and this begins at about 2, 3, 4 o'clock, there is the potential of some scattered showers and maybe even some thunderstorms developing from Raleigh, maybe even like Siler City north and east. And those showers and a few embedded thunderstorms will move slowly off to the north and east. They could actually intensify and could become a few stronger, even isolated severe storms north and east of Raleigh, or from Raleigh north and east, I should say. Anytime from maybe 6 o'clock up to 9 or 10 o'clock. And you can kind of see the progression of the convection. This is at 11 o'clock. So I'm just going to go back. And this is like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that kind of thing. So don't be surprised if we get another round of showers developing that move across. Will develop just east of the Triad, maybe between 2 and 4 p.m. Move through the Triangle, maybe between 4 and 8 p.m., and then off into the coastal plain, maybe 8 to 10 or 11 o'clock. And while most of that will just be showers, there is potential if we could get a stronger storm to launch and take off in that area, that it could be could produce some localized hail and even some damaging winds and be a shallow supercell. So we'll be monitoring that. Again, that's more of a conditional threat. If something does develop, it could be real strong. Right now, we're thinking it'll be more showery and probably a lower impact kind of a thing, but we're keeping an eye on that. Anyways, in terms of the accumulated precipitation forecast for the next week or so, you'll see in the panel for today in the upper left hand corner, it's just showing some lingering showers, lingering precipitation associated with the showers and storms we have forecast to develop late this afternoon and evening. And again, that's east of the Triad and really from Fayetteville north and east, including Raleigh and Rocky Mount. Once we get through the precipitation this afternoon and evening, we have dry weather for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can see in the lower left panel still dry. And then for the Saturday and Sunday panel, we do have a little bit of precipitation sketched in here, mainly near the coast, but some splotchiness over in North Carolina. And this is mainly for Saturday. This is with that upper level low that I talked about. Still a lot of uncertainty with that. Don't worry too much about that. But if you have plans for this weekend, Saturday is likely to be better than Sunday. And Sunday and Monday may be a little iffy at this point. We still have some time to monitor that. So looking off onto the next slide, which describes the severe weather potential. And you'll notice here for today's forecast in the upper left, there is this darker green area here. That is the marginal risk for some isolated severe thunderstorms, mainly north and east of Fayetteville, Raleigh north and east, Durham north and east, this kind of corridor here, which we saw earlier. Again, this is a conditional threat. We don't expect a lot of storms, but the greatest threat would be north and east of Raleigh. For the excessive rainfall outlook for the next few days, we have no excessive rain in the forecast, so flash flooding is not a concern. And then the big story is the coldest air mass of the season arrives tomorrow, and that continues tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday morning, and again on Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. And we've issued a freeze watch that's in effect for the first really cold night, and again, that's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And the areas highlighted in blue here have a freeze watch, which essentially means there's potential for temperatures at or below freezing during that period. The greatest chances of at or below freezing temperatures would be in the typical colder spots like Roxborough, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, even some of those colder spots in Lee County near Sanford and northern Durham County. This is probably the first of a couple of these kind of freeze products coming up for the next few days, as it will be quite chilly. Here's a sampling of what the forecast lows for Wednesday morning look like. And we have lows at 32 or below up in the Person County area throughout much of the Triad. It's a little bit warmer here in the cities of Greensboro and Winston-Salem, but in some of the outlying areas, temperatures will be near and below freezing. Here in the Raleigh area, maybe mid-30s, and similarly down in Coldsboro and Fayetteville, and even colder on Thursday morning. That'll be the coldest morning of the upcoming period, with widespread 32 or below in much of the northern and western Piedmont. So if you have any outdoor plants or things at risk with frosty and cold temperatures, be prepared for that both Tuesday night and Wednesday night. All right, now out in the tropics, we have no new tropical cyclones are expected during the next 5 days. And given we're heading into mid-October, the threat area generally begins to subside and becomes more restricted to the central and western Caribbean, and perhaps something goofy that could happen with a stalled front along the coast. We'll keep an eye on that over the next few weeks, but it's good to see that with the dissipation of Carl in the Gulf of Mexico last week, things have quieted down. The 8 to 14 day outlook looks like a return to above normal temperatures for the eastern continental United States. That generally means some drier conditions or near equal chances for us, but the temperatures are likely to be above normal during the last week or so of October as we head into the Halloween period. And one thing to note is above normal precipitation chances here in the Pacific Northwest, even into Northern California. Those are in regions that are needed precipitation very much. So that may be some good sign for those folks out there. Quick look at the drought. Right now, we only have some abnormally dry conditions highlighted in the southwestern part of the state, out there where stream flows have fallen to quite low levels. In the past 30 days, a few spots have had less than 2.5 inches of rain or so. So drought conditions continue here, and we'll need to monitor if we get any rain next week. But this is typically a drier part of the year in our part of the world, so no surprise that we have some dry weather expected and some marginally abnormally dry conditions in a few spots. All right, so summarizing things for the week, scattered showers and a few storms will develop this afternoon. Again, that's mainly near US Route 1 and spread north and east into the early evening. There is an isolated severe threat. Again, that's mainly from Raleigh north and east, so keep an eye out for that. That severe weather threat will be over by mid-evening or so. And then we just have cold air coming in overnight tonight, and that continues into Tuesday and Wednesday, with highs only in the 50s in many locations and overnight lows in the upper 20s to lower and mid 30s. So we do have frost concerns for both Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. And then dry weather late tonight through early Saturday, and we're watching a potential system for the coast for late in the weekend and early next week. So that's it for the weekly weather briefing. I'll stand by for any questions. Otherwise, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.